to infinity and beyond.
Okay, now on to our final topic of this week. It's going to be Injustice 2, DC Comics. Now, obviously, maybe not slightly Disney, but we're going to kind of, you might have seen on the website, we are kind of incorporating a few other different franchises here, Universal theme parks, and kind of now we kind of feel like DC, Marvel's DC, they're so close. So Injustice 2 is a game I am really excited about. I really enjoyed Injustice. It was one of those weird ones. Injustice, I don't know, I missed it when it came out. It was given on a PlayStation Plus 1 month, the Ultimate Edition, and I loved it. And literally, I was there going, this was the best game of PlayStation Plus for the year. I even was playing a little bit the other night. I really enjoyed the story, the way they did it. I'm going to be honest, I enjoy it more than Marvel vs. Capcom. And I think the fighting style of Marvel vs. Capcom is slightly smoother, a little bit faster, but I love the storyline. The way they've incorporated the storyline in Injustice is something what I'm really excited about Injustice 2. And I mean, they keep coming out with different characters. I mean, they've announced quite a few this week. Cheetah, we've also seen Firestorm, and Supergirl. I mean, the trailers just look like, well, they look better than the movies do at the minute.
Right. Honestly, if they came out and announced that Justice League would be based on the Injustice storyline, I'd be like, yes,
yeah,
I'm all in on this. But yeah, I remember the first Injustice, I played it at PAX East, whatever year it was being shown there, and I loved it, and I bought it when it came out. No regrets at all. I also got it on PlayStation Plus when they did that. It was one of the first ones for the PlayStation 4 too, if I remember. I actually haven't played it on the PS4, but I feel like it's a short enough experience that I'll probably play it really quickly before Injustice 2 comes out. And as long as, they don't screw up the technical side of Injustice 2, it should be very good. I also agree. I enjoy it more than the Marvel vs. Capcom. But as we have talked about in the past regarding Marvel vs. Capcom, I think I would enjoy Marvel vs. Capcom a lot more if we just dropped the vs. Capcom part.
I don't mind the Street Fighter ones. It's just all the other randoms in there.
Yeah, it's like I don't care about these characters. I'm here because I want to play with Wolverine and Doctor Doom and Magneto and stuff like that. And it's like, why are you forcing me to play with Strider or whoever, Striker?
I'll be honest. I had Strider on the Mega Drive, and I have got the remix version, which was on the PlayStation Plus. And he was actually one of those characters who goes, oh, I know this guy because I had this game, and like Bionic Commando and things like that. And what was the other one? Streets of Rage, and there was a few of the Final Fight. There was I did actually know a few of them, so it wasn't too bad. But I do love the fact with Injustice, it is just DC. They're not going down that line. There's some characters that are a little bit like like the trailer came out for Cheetah, and I'm like, I don't really know you very well. I don't just
right. I mean, it's one of those things where, at least in the first Injustice, they tried to do, here's the hero and here's one of the hero's main villains. And then maybe you'd have a couple, like Batman had both Joker and Harley Quinn, and there were some other ones in there too. Cheetah kind of has become the main Wonder Woman adversary. She has been for a long time, but obviously, when you think Wonder Woman, who do you think of as Wonder Woman's villain? And if you don't follow DC, I'm betting you can't come up with anybody.
I wouldn't know. I don't know anything. It's actually kind of why I'm excited about the movie, because we had that awful 70s TV show which I hated watching. I never liked watching. So I literally, my knowledge of Wonder Woman is so low, so bad on it. And I don't know if maybe I think Injustice is in a slightly better position because Firestorm, he's not with the DC shows. They've kind of got an extra leg up of these characters now, like Black Canary and even Supergirl, and they've all got so much more oomph to them now because of the TV series.
Oh yeah, and that's definitely intentional. I think if Legends of Tomorrow and Flash hadn't been so popular, Firestorm probably wouldn't be in this. And neither would probably Black Canary or Captain Cold. No one cares about Captain Cold unless you're a Flash fan. And I'm talking about the comics, not even the television show. Gorilla Grodd would be another one. He's been great on the show. But, yeah, the roster is shaping up to be very, very interesting. I'm looking at over here. It's already up to, 40-odd people. Yeah. So...
Yeah, because everyone said that thing of everyone that they had in the first game is they have to come back and we have to give them more. We can't take them away and, you can't. Well, we're not going to do Joker. Well, yeah, you got to have them in there. I mean, that trailer with Supergirl. They're telling a story. They're all on this alternate parallel universe, and they're all fighting against each other and stuff. And it's so intriguing, and it's such a cool story, and the graphics look amazing. And it's just like, for me, I'm just like going, this is day one purchase. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the full Ultimate Edition, which has got all 9 DLC, but because it's like 90 quid for the digital version. But you got the thing is, there's the standard version, the deluxe version, and the ultimate version, and basically it's just how much DLC they come in. I think there might even be a little bit of microtransactions thrown in here and there. So it's going to be tricky. But I'm kind of then thinking, if I buy the standard edition and get the season pass, I'm probably going to end up spending that same. It's tricky to know, but I know that I'm in. I know that I want to play this. It'll be a day one purchase. I think it's out May 19th in the UK. I don't know if it's slightly different for the Americans, but it'll probably be around about that same week.
Right.
Now, yeah, carry on.
No, go ahead.
It's just that kind of thing. I think, it's in some ways having this and Marvel versus Capcom in one. I'm kind of glad that they might be 6 months apart, because I think, again, with Injustice, it'd be kind of a game, jump in, play for a week or two playing the story mode. You can do the whole online thing. I'm not an online player. It's a single character, the single campaign is what I'm interested in. Online play and all the rest of it is just a nice bonus, but I'm not a competitive fighter in online. So it's that single player mode, which I remember when I got Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. When I finished the story in 25 minutes, I was a bit like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, and in Injustice, they obviously have put quite a bit of effort into the story compared relative to other fighting games. We're not talking like this is going to be Oscar-worthy storytelling, but it's good enough to keep you drawn into the game, to give you context for the characters fighting. It's a lot of fun. To go back to the various versions and DLC and stuff like that, I know I'm just going to get the regular version, and I'm probably not going to get the DLC, at least until it goes on discount. The main reason for that was the DLC for the first game had a bunch of non-comic characters in there, and just like, yeah, it's cool that you're including Scorpion into the mix or whatever, but I
get over here.
Care. Yeah, it's like I don't care. Now you release a Batgirl DLC, which they did. I'm in on that. I like Batgirl. You do a Power Girl DLC. I'm okay with that. Joker, make him DLC. Please don't make him DLC, but you do him, I'd be okay with that. You want to do actual Freddy Krueger? No. You want to do the Predator? No, I'm not interested in the Predator.
It's that odd thing with season passes and it's like, can I get a little bit more information, please? It's like, sometimes you just have to. It's like making a leap of faith on that DLC because you're going to save some money, and sometimes you can be burnt. I mean, it's like like Breath of the Wild's DLC. It's like, here's some bits and pieces now, but the other two bits we're not really giving you a lot of information about. I mean, it's like even Star Wars Battlefront. I brought the season pass for that because I knew I was going to play it, but it's like that Rogue One set wasn't over 13 months after I paid for it, that they held on to that money, and I didn't know what I was getting into. Okay, yes, I might have saved some money, and I had a day one, I had a 2 weeks, fine. But I would like to know, like, you have 9 characters. Well, you want me to buy £90 thing? What are those 9 characters? Do I want them? Hiding them, it instantly kind of goes, I'm not sure.
I mean, they might not even know who the 9 characters are yet. There might be some who aren't. But I've been burned enough times that my policy right now is no pre-orders and no season passes. I'll buy games the weekend they come out or the week they come out, like as long as the reviews come out and say, yeah, there are no major technical issues, the game is fun, etc. It's more for, is this going to crash my system? Are there any major bugs? Not, is it fun or not? I normally can tell whether I'll enjoy a game before I play it.
Pre-orders for me are a bit of an odd one because it's like certain games, I think when they're part of franchises, it's easier to cut in. Like, well, I've played the last ones, I know I'm going to like it. It's like I enjoyed Injustice 1, so I know I'm going to enjoy Injustice 2. I've played Mario Kart, I know it's going to be fine. So it's a little risky. It's when you're going for something brand new, like Horizon Zero Dawn had that issue of word of mouth had to. That's why they had all the embargoes 1 week before it came. I mean, they did all right because they got out ahead of Nintendo, but they had to get that out because it was fresh. You know, when I pre-ordered Watch Dogs, I didn't know what I was getting really, but when I pre-ordered Watch Dogs 2, I knew what I was getting. And there's that kind of line. I think when it's fresh off the bat, it's always a little bit harder. But yeah, no.
But yeah, I mean, these days, especially with digital games, unless you're going for a special edition, you want to get the statue like the original Injustice had or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much point in pre-ordering because you're not going to run into stock issues. Now, if you're talking about the Switch hardware, that's a totally different ballgame. But if you're talking about Breath of the Wild, I could go over to the Best Buy and I could pick that up right now. Yeah. No problem. And even if I couldn't, I could go onto the eShop and buy it.
Yeah.
There's no point in pre-ordering, and so I don't. And I'll wait and get the reviews, and I'll be like, okay, that's good. Now I'll go ahead and buy it.
Yeah, quite often now as well. Even if you get it, because there'll be like a special character that's pre-order only. I think there is for Injustice. I think it's Darkseid or something like that.
That's correct.
Quite often you find the actual code inside the disc when you open it. Because I know I had Goldberg for WWE. I had Bret Hart, Stone. Every time I brought the game. Because I've learned with WWE that you're better off waiting a month because the price will plummet. The second game will always put it on sale in like Black Friday. I know I want the game and I want to play it, but I know it will drop in half price like within a few weeks. So I know that I can hold off. But there's been a few times when you are going to get. There isn't a bit that's why I don't buy secondhand games anymore because you go to open up the code and it doesn't work. But yeah, no, it's one of those things. But I think for me, I will get Injustice 2 because I know that it's going to be something that I want to play.
I'm 99% certain that I'm going to get Injustice 2. I'm just going to wait to make sure that the reviews are good. And then for me, it's also the decision, do I want to get this for the PC or do I want to get this for the Xbox or do I want to get it for the PlayStation or for I don't know, the Switch, which I don't have, but I don't think it's even coming out for the Switch. So,
well, the Xbox One is now, as I refer to it, as Dust Bowl 1 because I didn't really use it a lot before because unless it was an Xbox exclusive, the only thing I touch it now for is like some of the Xbox 360 backward stuff. It's just going to get more dust. I mean, it is no longer the second console because it is now way down the line. So and there was a part of me at one point I was thinking maybe I should start doing the Xbox ones because my PlayStation 4 hard drive is full, and I was giving it some thought, and then they went, 4.5, you can use USB. There we go.
Yeah, and I think if I had a Switch, one of either the Xbox or the PlayStation would more than likely end up getting mothballed as well, and honestly, for me, if it wasn't for Horizon and Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5, it would actually probably be the PlayStation. Right. But, the Xbox doesn't have any major must-play exclusives that haven't already been out for like a year or so. And there's nothing on the horizon where you're sitting like, I have to play that game. Dragon Scale could have been that game, but it got canceled. And I can't even think of any other exclusives. I'm sure there's a Halo 6 coming, but I think it's not officially announced.
Of Game A and Game B, or Game A's on both devices, I just go PlayStation. It's just automatic, and I can't quite say why, it just is, and that's just where my preferred choice is. It's going to be hard with the Switch because I think sometimes it might be like, which one is better for that? Like Sonic Mania will be a Switch title. However, certain games like Injustice be like, actually no, it's going to look a lot better on the PlayStation 4. I'd rather have it there. It's going to be that line between it. But I think that's pretty much going to wrap up our Injustice talk for this episode, and it's going to wrap up this week's episode as a whole. First off, just like to say thank you to all of the patrons over at patreon.com/DisKingdom. You help fund the audio versions of the podcast going up there, so big thank you for that. You can find us on the interwebs on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. We also have our Infinity and Beyond Facebook groups, which you're welcome to join and discuss with us. James, where can they find you over at?
At the moment, you can find me on Twitter at VagabondPeak, and then you can also find me on the interweb at heroiclegacy.com, all one word.
Yeah, that's cool. And he's also put up some videos of the Telltale the Batman one recently, so I saw
Yes.
So you can definitely want to check that one out. And on that note, guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys were okay with the change up this week. Hopefully I'm gonna run it for at least a month to 6 weeks to see how it goes. I'm hoping this will work better. I think it will work better for everyone to find the videos, and it should be a little bit more easier for everyone to watch it. As I said, the audio version will be as it goes. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you guys soon. Laters.
Later.